This story that I've read from the Salt and Light website, this is a story about Dr. Leong Ho Nam. The name Dr. Leong Ho Nam, I'm sure is a very familiar name among many of us right now. Dr. Leong, he's an infectious disease specialist. And during this period of time, we have seen him on TV, we have heard him on radio, giving many useful advice on the COVID-19 situation. Some of us probably didn't know that Dr. Leong, he's a SARS survivor in 2003. Dr. Leong contracted SARS when he treated the first SARS patient in Singapore in 2003. He only discovered that when he went on a conference overseas and he was being quarantined at this hospital in Germany. When the symptoms developed, he went through a really hard time. He really suffered badly as a result of the SARS virus. He was having difficulty breathing, and he was having very bad cough, very bad hacking cough. And every time he changed his position, his body posture, he would cough out blood. Eventually, his situation improved. He started to recover. And while he was recovering in hospital, he became bored and he wanted to read a book. And the only English book that was available for him was an English Bible passed to him by his wife. His wife was a new believer at the time. So he took the English Bible and he started to read the Gospel of Luke. And he started to know this person, Jesus, from the Bible. But at that time, he still could not believe whether God is real or not. So after the SARS period, Dr. Leong went to London to pursue his PhD. And it was in London that he hit a roadblock in his life. He had a research issue whereby his experiments keep failing. So he hit a roadblock, the experiments in his research were not working, and he then remembered about this person, Jesus, that he has read in the Bible. And he decided to pray to God to help him in his experiments. The first time he prayed, nothing happened. Second time he prayed, nothing happened. Pray a few more times, still nothing happened. I told you God is sovereign, right? You don't expect him to work the way we want him to work. Until one day, he decided to change his prayer, and he prayed a very bold prayer to submit himself to the authority of God, regardless of the result of his experiments. And the moment he prayed that prayer, wow, he literally felt God's presence just surrounding him. He felt as if God was hugging him and was assuring him, "You are my son. You are my beloved son." At that moment, people, whatever stress he had about his experiment, about his research, just suddenly all melt away when he realized at that moment that God is the most important thing in his life. That knowing God is more important than the success of his experiment. And as he looked back at his faith journey, this was what he shared. He said, "God is very, very, very dear to me. If I had to go through SARS 100 times over just to know the God whom I love, I would do it." As we read this story, perhaps there's some of us in our midst that do not know this God yet. You may have heard about God, you may have been to a Christian school, you may even have read about the Bible, but you do not have a relationship with God. Just as how God sent Moses to deliver the Israelites from their bondage of slavery, God has also sent his one and only Son, Jesus, to die on the cross to redeem us from the bondage of our sin. What is sin? Sin are the things in life that we have done that we are not proud of. Sin can manifest itself in many ways. Sin can manifest itself in uncontrolled anger, in rage, in lust, in jealousy, in telling things that are not truthful. And sin separates us from a God who loves us. Sin will lead to a place whereby we don't want to be. We do not want it to be. Sin leads to a dead end. Sin leads to a Red Sea situation whereby we have no way out. And God has sent a deliverer to us. That deliverer is the person Jesus. Jesus came to deliver us from the bondage of sin. And in order for that deliverance to take place, we need to cross the Red Sea. We need to leave our past behind us and take a step to cross the Red Sea, just like how the Israelites left their life behind in Egypt and crossed the Red Sea. And today, God is saying that He wants to deliver you, but you have to put your current lifestyle behind you and make a decision to follow Jesus. Make a decision to follow Jesus. If today this is your desire, you want to start to follow Jesus and have a relationship with God, I'm going to give you some time to respond later. As for the rest of us, let's put aside our things as we spend some time to worship this God and to respond to His word. Let's do that right now, shall we?